I wanted you to hear my morning birds. They sing all day, but in the morning, for some reason, it seems like I notice it more. I feel like I'm cheating here because I don't really have a topic. I just kind of wanted to talk, I guess. I'm disappointed. I feel like I'm disappointed with a lot of things, and I know I talked to you guys about back in January. I felt like something was changing, and things felt different in the atmosphere, in the spirit. Things felt different, and I felt called to go back to community and go back to church and be with a congregation, and that is going well. And I don't know how I feel. I want to say the word safe, but I'm not sure if that's the right word, safe. Um, I I guess what I'm thinking about today is everybody has a different purpose. Everybody has a different calling. And some of us never figure out what that is. And a lot of times, I don't know what that is for myself. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm doing exactly what I was created to do, what I was called to do. And other times I don't know. And I think that's okay. It's got to be okay because that's the way it is. I've always felt or thought that I needed to warn people about things. But I learned early on, because, you know, we kind of know things. I guess they call that intuition, you know? We kind of know things. We can kind of sense when things are going to happen. And we might not know what, but you feel like that danger approaching, you know? And because we can sense the difference between good and evil, and I used to think that everybody could do that, but not everybody can do that. I used to think everybody must have thought like I did, and they don't. And that knowledge of knowing that not everybody can think and sense that way can be a bit isolating. But at the same time, it's also a bit freeing. And there's a few things that kind of sparked this conversation. One of them was one of my viewers in live stream asking me if I felt like I was an observer of this world. And I don't remember how I answered, but I've been thinking about that quite a bit, kind of paying attention to myself and paying attention to where my mind is and what I'm doing when I'm in the world, I guess. And sometimes you feel, or I feel like I'm not even real or something. I don't know. That is really hard to explain. And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But I always feel like I'm just watching, not participating necessarily. And at times I want to participate. I want to be where the people are, which is kind of my mantra right now. But then I don't, because I see what's happening. I see how people are and how they respond to what's going on, or don't respond because they've got their heads in the sand, or they've got themselves so preoccupied with their list of things to do and their phone and their social media following, and that they don't see what's happening, and they're not observing, they're not watching, they're just carrying on with their life, which sometimes I wonder if that's a little more freeing, or if having a knowing of other things and things behind that are better. And I've noticed in this last year of being on this platform and interacting with different people like me, and I've watched a couple videos now about the different types of INFJs, that some of us are more aggressive than others. And while I envy that a little bit, it feels foreign to me. There are times that I would fight for something, probably for people I love, but most of the time, the term quiet leader resonates with me a bit more. Gentle leader, quiet leader. And we all have different callings, like I said. And some of us have a message, a very strong message to put out, and are like I said in a comment to another YouTuber, to Dark Light Empath, who's been in my live streams a few times, and I've been watching his videos. We are the Chicken Littles. And if you remember that book about Chicken Little, he runs around yelling, "The sky is falling, the sky is falling." And everyone thinks he's crazy, and nobody listens to him. And from what I can remember of that book, I mean, it's obviously been a very long time since I read that, but nobody listens to him. And he still continues saying the sky is falling. But some of us, myself, we've been yelling the sky is falling, and we've been trying to warn the people around us about what we sense and what we see and what we know about what's happening in lots of different areas, in relationships they're in jobs they're in. I'm talking about other people, seeing what's happening, in patterns that they're doing in their life, and how we see it turning out because of what we know and what we sense from them and the other people and all these other things. And then we want to warn them in a way of helping them. But, in my case, being this, gentle, gentle person, a lot of times those warnings go unheeded. And then even if you end up being right about what would have happened or what did happen, not that I need a pat on the back or congratulations, you were right, but people don't always listen. And in a way, that has silenced me, and probably a lot of other people as well. But some of us are more like warriors. And I've had a few commenters saying that I need to embrace that warrior side. And I don't know her. And I'm definitely getting more vocal, lots of practice here. But even with my family, and I have just been enjoying my life so much more. And I'm thankful to you guys for that, because all of your comments and your views and your support, I feel like I've definitely grown as a person. But it feels like the sky is falling. and no one sees it. And I could go into all of the different conspiracy theories and tinfoil hat things that I have looked into and read and all of that, but I just know that with everything that's happened in this year so far, it all seems to be leading up to something, and I feel like that something isn't good. So this is not a very cheerful video today. I'm sorry for that. Well, I'm not really sorry. Sometimes I just gotta talk, you know. But when you know something, and you've been shown something, or you have dreams about things, I can't remember if I gave you the details of the dream that I had back in January, but it's interesting when you get a dream that God is trying to tell you something, show you something, warn you of something. I've only had a few dreams like that in my life. You know, most dreams that you have, you forget shortly after waking up. Unless they were super bizarre, you might remember them for a little while and then they go away. Dreams like this, they don't go away. You don't forget them. Like, I can still very vividly picture and remember. It was a tribulation dream. It was a warning. And I don't have any fear over it, but it was a warning. The sky is falling. Bad things are coming. We've lived in peace for a very long time. At least here in America, we've lived in peace. Our lives have been very good. They've been easy, probably too easy. And we've fallen away from what we should be doing. So, I'm no warrior. People have called me a warrior and a fighter. And when they call me a fighter, I say I didn't know I had a choice. Because that warrior side of Joy, I don't know her. But I want to. The birds sing so pretty. Creation is so beautiful. I think that's enough for now, guys. I have no idea what I talked about. I have to watch it back. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Live and love out of the way you were created.